Hi guys! Today we're gonna talk about Matlab. So, when you guys hear about Matlab, what comes to your mind? College homework. Ah, I agree. Wolfram Alpha? What? Okay. It's 19 plus, not 19 plus. Mathematica? What's Mathematica? Is that like Wolfram Alpha? It's not 19 plus. I'm still intoxicated, remember? Cousin used it. Oh shit, I can't spell engineering. Looks like Matlab. Actually, if I think of Matlab, it comes kind of to GTA 5. I think there was a scene where they were doing something, right? Machine learning? You can do machine learning using Matlab? Really? Yeah, I'm one of those engineers who couldn't figure out how to use this. So today, we'll be learning what Matlab is without turning on League of Legends. I used to think it was a software for doing labs for math classes. Yeah, I thought it was a math class programming language. Oh, well, I guess we'll get to see what it is. Oh, what is... Oh, there must be a geographical region called Matlab. Oh, Matlab in Bangladesh. Oh. Dude, I spelled Matlab wrong. 반전이야. Oh, wait, no, I did spell it right. Oh, then what's Matlab? 이건 뭐야? Wow. That's so confusing. So anyways, moving on. Matlab is a proprietary multi-paradigm programming language and numeric computing environment developed by MathWorks. Matlab also allows metric manipulations, plotting of functions and data, implementation of algorithm, creation of user interfaces, and interfacing with programs written in other languages. Although Matlab is intended primarily for numeric computing. See, numbers, ew. An optional toolbox used the MUPAD, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it, a symbolic engine allowing access to symbolic computing abilities. An additional package, Simulink, adds graphical multi-domain simulation and model-based design for dynamic and embedded systems. As of 2020, Matlab has more than 4 million users worldwide. Really? That's so much people, guys. 4 million. 대박. They come from various backgrounds of engineering, science, and economics. But you can still do machine learning? Specialized using matrices. Yeah, I guess so. 오랜만이네요. 단어가. There's also R. Yeah, we talked about R. If you guys are interested in learning about R, check my YouTube, guys. Oh, machine learning is it? That's true. I learned so much matrix multiplication and type of stuff when I was taking classes. 학교에서 배웠다고요? 공대생이구만. So the origin, guys. Matlab was invented by mathematician and computer programmer Cleve Moeller. The idea for Matlab was based on his 1960s PhD thesis. Yeah, 진짜 이런 clever people just develop language, guys. Moeller became a math professor at the University of New Mexico and started developing Matlab for his students as a hobby. Hobby? Give me that what face. What? He developed Matlab initial linear algebra programming in 1967 with his one-time thesis advisor George Forsyth. Maybe I'm definitely pronouncing this wrong. Sorry, guys. This was followed by Fortran code for linear equations in 1971. Foresight? That's how you pronounce it? Wow. Foresight? In the beginning, Matlab was not a programming language. It was a simple interactive matrix calculator. Matrix calculator. Really? How long ago? Maybe 1970s? There was no programs, no toolbox, no graphics, and no ODEs or FFTs. The first early version of Matlab was completed in the late 1970s, so I guess it was before 1970s that this happened. The software was disclosed to the public for the first time in February 1979 at the Naval Postgrad School in California. I've never heard about this school. So many interesting schools out there. Early versions of Matlab were simple matrix calculators with 71 pre-built functions. At the time, Matlab was distributed for free to universities. Muller would leave copies at universities he visited as software developed a strong following in the math departments of university campuses. Isn't this a type of marketing? I wonder if it was just to get his language out or just to really give universities a helpful tool to do matrix like multiplication. Really? You think so? 양수님 어서 오세요. Isn't Matlab free? I don't think Matlab is free. I 100% doubt Matlab is free. Python versus Matlab versus Mathematica? Really? Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's for commercial market. If he kept this free, then I would be like, wow, he's a very nice person. Anyways, in the 1980s, Muller met John Little. They decided to reprogram Matlab in C and market it for the IBM desktops that were replacing mainframe computers at the time. John Little and programmer Steve Bangert 너무 어려워. Reprogrammed Matlab in C, created the Matlab programming language, and developed features for Toolbox. 그러니까, so John Little 오빠 helped with the full development then, right? Bangert? I guess so. Commercial development. See, now we're here at the commercial, guys. So it was first released as a commercial product in 1984 at the Automatic Control Conference in Las Vegas. MathWorks was founded to develop the software, and the Matlab programming language was released. The first Matlab sale was the following year when Nick Ofar from MIT bought 10 copies. Wow, they actually bought 10 copies. Maybe it was this person who made Matlab, be paid. By the end of 1980, several hundred copies of Matlab had been sold to universities for student use. The software was popularized largely thanks to toolboxes created by experts in various fields for performing specialized mathematical tasks. 진짜. So these experts made it expensive. 영화 듣기 평가 같다고요? 감사합니다. So many of the toolboxes were developed as a result of Stanford students that would use MATLAB in academia, then brought the software with them to the private sector. Wow. Stanford Oppa is also... Just kidding. I guess I'm blaming everyone for making MATLAB be expensive. 오, 제로스님 오랜만이에요. Over time, Matlab was rewritten for early operating systems created by Digital Equipment Corporation, VAX, Sun Microsystem, and for Uni PCs. Really? Version 3 was released, and the first MATLAB compiler was developed by Stephen Johnson in the 1990s. Guys, I wasn't even born yet. I didn't think that MATLAB was this long. 진짜 오래된 프로그래밍이었는데? In 2000, MathWorks added a Fortran-based library for linear algebra in MATLAB 6, replacing the software's origin LinPack and EISPack subroutines that were in C. So ever since it was written in C, I guess it's been doing so well. MATLAB's Parallel Computing Toolbox was released at the 2004 Supercomputing Conference. Oh, I've never heard about this Parallel Computing Toolbox. And support for graphic processing units was added to it in 2010. Some recent history, I guess there was a large change in the software in 2012. And then by 2016, MATLAB had introduced several technical and user interface improvements, including the MATLAB Live Editor Notebook. So I'm guessing this is like multi-programming. So, kind of like MATLAB, but I guess MATLAB is a full environment. Who's a scam artist? Why are you guys thinking it's scam? I have to admit, you have a skill for making the most boring stuff interesting. Thanks. What is VMS? Oh, VMS later became Open VMS? Wow. Anyways, moving on. So the features of MATLAB. It combines a desktop environment tuned for iterative analysis and design processes with a programming language that expresses MATLAB and array mathematics directly. So I guess there is live editor, da. So these are all the toolboxes. Wow. Oh, they have deep learning. So deep learning is machine learning. 그치? They have financial toolbox. 몰랐네. 5G. Ooh. So they have. Hey, but how come US internet is not 5G? 뭐지? Isn't it the same thing? Oh, that was apparently an Asian. That was a race ethnicity comment. Can't you do ray tracing in MATLAB? That is a good question, but I have no clue. Antenna toolbox, audio toolbox, aerospace. Oh, you can use aerospace using MATLAB? 되게 많다. Wavelet, satellite, radar toolbox, GPU coder. Wow! So you can code your NVIDIA GPA using MATLAB. 여기 있구나. Statistics and machine learning toolbox. Guys, I took a stat class. No, I actually took a machine learning class, and they wanted me to program using MATLAB, and I just did not know how, so I ended up using R. It's not racist? I have no clue. These auto mods. So in addition to these, you can develop applications for all kinds of industries with more than 100 toolboxes for MATLAB and Simulink. So the syntax, guys, everyone's favorite, guys. I can't speak English today, sorry. The MATLAB application is built around the MATLAB programming language. Common usage of the MATLAB application involves using the common window as an interactive mathematical shell or executing text files containing MATLAB code. Variables are defined using the assignment operator equal. MATLAB is a weakly typed, it's not weakly, okay, programming language because types are implicitly converted. Oh. So it is an inferred type language because variables can be assigned without declaring their type, except if they are to be treated as symbolic objects, and that their type can change. Values can come from constants, from computations involving values of other variables, or from the output of a function. For example, what are they saying? That was just 저도 학부 때는 안 썼고 대학원 때 썼는데 너무 어려웠어요. 사실 저는 MATLAB 진짜 싫었어요. I actually, guys, honestly hated MATLAB. I just hated MATLAB. But the history was pretty interesting. So I guess you could define constants like x equals 17, x equals hat. Or you can even have it as a text. And then x equals 3 times 4, comma, pi divided by 2. So, and then this becomes a matrix. And then even define it using a different symbol. 그다음에 vector. Vectors and matrices. So there's arrays. You can create an array. 와, 이거 되게 멋있다. Initial, increment, and terminator. Oh. So these are some things. I guess it's mostly used for things that have matrix. Right? Na. Look, I. 오! 이거 뭐라고 부르더라? Is this called identity matrix? I can't even spell identity. I've seen these before. 이거 되게 신기하다. And you can create it by 3 by 3. Transposing. Ew. 너무 더러워요. Most functions accept arrays as input. So there's multiple arrays. Structures. Let's talk a little bit about structures. When MATLAB supports structured data types, since all variables in MATLAB are arrays, a more adequate name is structure array, where each element of the array has the same field names. In addition, MATLAB supports dynamic field names, field lookup by name, field manipulations, etc. Oh. And then the function, when creating a MATLAB function, the name of the file should match the name of the first function in the file. Valid function names begin with an alphabetic character and can contain letters, numbers, or underscores. Variables and functions are case sensitive. Just remember, guys, that the variables and functions are case sensitive. I guess that's the most important things about the functions. And then function handles supports element of lambda calculus. Oh my god, this sounds very disgusting. Sorry, guys. Wow. 무슨 말인지 1도 모르겠다. 저도 모르겠어요. And then classes and object-oriented programming. So we've heard about the OOPs. So it does support OOP, including classes, inheritance, virtual dispatch, packages, However, the syntax and calling conventions are significantly different from other languages. MATLAB has value classes and reference classes, depending on whether the class has handled as a superclass or not. Oh, so I guess you call it by method. And then here, you do function greet. So you can use graphs and graphical user interface, but I guess I thought MATLAB didn't have good graphical interface, so people don't use them. Okay. Technical difficulties? Give me a second. Wow. So you can even create a sine function and then all these three-dimensional graphics. Wow, 이건 좀 죽인다. Ooh. Oh, wait, this is MATLAB symbol. 알카노드님 오랜만이에요? 안경 왜? What's DDoS? Why? Oh, thanks not to. Matlab support developing graphical user interface, yada yada yada. And then other languages, so it seems that it could be written in languages C or Fortran. Wrapper function is created allowing Matlab data types to be passed and returned. MEX files are the dynamically loadable object files created by compiling such functions. So, there are libraries written in Perl, Java, ActiveX, or .NET can be directly called from Matlab. And then it seems that as alternative to the MNuPad-based symbolic math tools available from Matlab's MathWorks, Matlab can be connected to Maple or Mathematica. Well, that's really good. And then obviously machine learning is doable. And then there's the computational language Julia, a statistic programming language R, and blah blah blah. So, withdraw from China. In 2020, China state media reported that Matlab had withdrawn services from 2 Chinese universities. That's so sad. As a result of US sanctions, and said this will be responded to by increased use of open source alternatives and by developing domestic alternatives. So maybe they can recreate Matlab. Would be interesting. Oh, thank you. Matlab is not funny? Why? 포르트나 쓰려고요? 아니요. 저 멜랩도 별로 안 좋아했어. There's GNU Octave? What's that? Oh. There's a bunch of release histories. I don't think we have to read in depth about it. And then see also... Oh! GNU Octave! 오름. 연구용으로 포커스 가나요? 맞아. 이거 대학교 때 많이 쓰는 것 같아. So, that's all for Matlab, guys. So, in conclusion, what do you guys want to say about the conclusion? In conclusion, MATLAB는 if you were to introduce MATLAB to your cousin, your 5-year-old cousin, I would say MATLAB. If you don't, oh, can I erase this? Okay, maybe not. If you don't want to be a professor, if you don't want to live in the university, don't take MATLAB. Take MATLAB. Do not try this at home. Oh, I like that. Do not try this at home. Don't try this at home. All company use it? Oh, I guess if you don't want to live in the university and company. And then, but I think they still have good features. Some of the good features that I realize is if your job has anything related to Matrix, like if you really like matrices, like if you took a class in matrices and you guys were like, OMG, it's like the best thing, then obviously, you know, use this. And then I guess also one bad thing about MATLAB was that it was free, but why make it not free, you know? Like, look at Python. So no one uses, like, Python is free. 아, symbolic 연산이 뭐예요? What is that? Yeah, I'm guessing there's still companies that use Matlab, so we can't diss saying no one uses it because maybe just because your company doesn't use Matlab doesn't mean every other company does not use Matlab. But I mean, like, but for me, it was really hard. For me, the UI UX for Matlab or like the interface, user interface was really hard. After I used like 파이썬에 에나콘다 쓰고 even I think R from R Studio had better interface than Matlab. So I do have to say the interface for Matlab is just Matlab으로 코딩한 내용 C로 변환시켜주는 기능이 있어서 그러니까 본인이 Matlab에 쓰는 거 익숙해져 있는 사람이면은 이제 C로 뭐 프로그래밍 해야 된다 하면은 이제 쓰는 거구나. So it seems that if your company uses C but you program better in Matlab, then you can use Matlab at your company because there's a way to transfer the code from Matlab to C. So that would be something. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed Matlab. Next week, I'll come up with another fun programming, but that's all for Matlab. Thanks, guys.